I'm not sure if we gave her a little drink. We probably did. We tried to do that. Her metabolic resources were quite low.
It was straight vodka, by the way.
Yeah, we gave her the lights are great when you got some vodka. No, we'll get that on video. That's actually over well here in Utah. Okay. And you can see her brain. So here's her, she was like 50% of the psycho-emotional state index and more yellow and red and a little bit stressed. And then she went much more into the calming of the blue energy there, and she's at 98% there. So huge difference there. Then you can see she was really in delta, very much in delta. So that's that work, got to do. And then look how much gamma. This is a very intuitive woman, but check out her gamma on the second side. That purple went, phew. And I would say that's like great, like very intuitive, genius kind of state, like more inspiration.
So do you listen to music when you personally do it?
No, I usually do this late at night and I fall asleep, quite frankly. I do my lights at night and I fall asleep.
Yeah, because they can't sleep out.
Yeah. I don't.
That's when you do it.
That's what I do. Here's her coherent. So here's like less than coherent here, like 59%, so kind of just average to quite coherent, 100%. Her body just really tuned right up. And then here you see an age difference. So she was 39 at the time of this. She was actually presenting before she started at 41. And then afterwards she went down 10 years. So she lost 12 years right there, according to the way. So that's always nice. And then here is her regulation of just all of her systems went much better. And here you see, like, she went from being a kind of a 54% level of overall health to a 99% level. So this is a very stellar one. Not everyone will go through this. And some of you will actually look like you're a little bit worse. Like in that one instance, she had one frame there where it looked like, hey, that kind of was stressful for you. And I would just honor that it probably, I've never had it be across the board worse. So there's always usually a reason that one thing is kind of pumping out. I don't always know the reason, but I always trust to just go through the whole thing with somebody. This person also has very high energy, 100% with maybe a dip at noon, down to 75%. It's super high energy. And then looking at her total power, actually her total power is ridiculously jumped. It went from 1,101 to 6,591. So she just really energized up. So if she wouldn't have been a light owner before, we really could have gotten her on this one, I'm sure. Here she's quite yen, that's cool. She's a very relaxed person. Her chakras, they super opened up. So she went from really low chakra levels there to just jump right up. And I would say normally she's probably in here, but it's really interesting to watch. This person is a very energetic, sensitive person, so she went from half of her aura being lit to just full on. So that's just an example of how this works, and it's a cool tool. We first got it thinking, okay, everyone, it takes a lot of time. But we've done it for Tara's groups. We've done one, for a Pilates studio, we came in and we just did, people came with appointments, and it's really neat for them to see. It's a nice way if you wanted to do some kind of workshop or like your own practice and you said, okay, we're going to do HRV tests as a specific thing just for this time. You could play around with owning the app. There is an app. I don't know if it's not as good as this one, but you could just play around with getting a heart rate monitor on someone and just helping them see how these things change. But anything that you can give somebody to help them see tangibly what's going on, if they're not quite as awake as someone else, then I think that is really valuable. Any questions on that?
What's the app called?
I was looking, and there's several heart rate variability apps. The one that looked interesting to me was called the Elite app. But you could check, and if you find one, Joanne, let us know, because this one didn't seem like it was going to be as energy oriented. This is quite energy oriented with the chakras and all that stuff. The other one was more athletic oriented. But the athletic community is catching on, and they're realizing that if you want to perform well, you need to look at your energy levels. And so they're starting to use this as a way to help people take their stress off and know, should I train hard today, should I not?
If we wanted to buy this software for our practice,
Yeah.
what kind of investment is that?
This one was pretty expensive, but I feel like they have cheaper ones out there.
I think we can check it out for you, but
Yeah.
somewhere around $1,000 at least.
No, well, this one you bought it, you don't want to tell people, but it was like $8,000. It's crazy.
No, it wasn't that much. It wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
But I think you can get them for less.
It's a
So
lot.
we'll look and see
It was
what's
expensive.
fine.
Don't do that.
She doesn't remember that she did it, but she did.
2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, so 8,000.
So 8,000 with the, she might have said 11. But we are happy to, we'll come to your location and do like a weekend, like, do a retreat. And I was thinking with my yoga retreats are great things to offer people. And if you offer a retreat and then you give people something like this at their sheet, that's really a nice value. And so, you can talk to us about that because, we want it to be used. We don't use it every day, but we do use it times a week probably. Any other questions?
So how long does it last?
Good question.
You did that 20 minutes apart.
You probably could have, shaken her up and told her some bad news when I got back there. I don't know. That's kind of the hard thing to know. Generally, it just depends on the person. This is just a moment in time. It is a snapshot. But the cool thing is, if she knows how to get there, she can get back there. And that's the other thing I encourage about the lights. To me, the lights are also like Dorothy clicking her red wheels. And if you know how to get home, you can get home. And the more often you go home, the more you realize, oh, I can take a deep breath and be here, even if my teenage son is acting crazy. I can just take a deep breath, and I can get there. So I think the important thing is to recognize that and to know that that's the whole thing about life, is we've got to be able to adapt. And this does show ability to adapt to stress.
And it also demonstrates why we start with stress. And you get kind of bored with it. It's like, do I always have to do B or do the, yeah, at least once a day. Get that eye mask on so you're balancing the autonomic nervous system at least once a day. I like the evening just because, that's a good time for it. Let's just show for the new people where we put pads for the stress relief moment.
Yeah.
I think that would be important for some
So
of you who have.
we were going to have a nice chair here with me. I'm going to sit in the barbecue chair.
All right. And we're going to put, I'm going to put the lights on her.
Always I like to have the pad across. You can either put across or up and down. My preference is here because I know my adrenals are more.
On the skin,
And I
those
usually
of you
go
who are
right
brand new.
underneath and right on the skin, ideally. And I find garments are fine, but the closer you get to the skin, the more direct you're getting to move.
And the reason for this is myriad, but you're getting your adrenals and you're getting your kidneys.
Is
And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. Your adrenals.
that the red one or the
This
blue
is my
one?
big red one. I
Big
usually
red,
like to do, you can do don't worry too much about red and blue so much, but in general, I do red on the back side of the body and blue on the front. That's just how I generally do it.
When you're putting lights on someone, you've invited them over and you're going to help them get on the lights. You can show them where to put them and let them put them. If you're going to touch them or put them on them, just say, could I help you? Would you like me to help you? Oh yeah, then you help them. But it's polite to ask. And it's also more legal to ask if you're putting lights on people. Okay, let's pretend this is a blue one, Marta.
This could be blue or red. This is the local pad, right? And I'm just going to put that, I just have people do it for themselves. I put it under, then I tell you could put, put that over if you want, so it's right on the skin more. And now, a couple of different things. I don't know, and feel free to chime in, those of you who do lights a lot. But I like to do it right over the navel is a nice place, and getting the GI tract, and just also that's a big stress area. But oftentimes people will prefer to do it up on their chest. Certainly a pregnant woman wouldn't be putting it here. They could put it on their chest, okay? And so that's one thing you can just play with. But I like it here because generally, what are we trying to do? Help people do rest, digest, and heal. And so digestion is a big area. So that's one.
All right. And then in our, this set, we now offer a pain buster. So this is an example of one that you can
This
use.
is a blues buster. And this I always tell people, what's bothering you? I'm going to tell you 9 times out of 10, it's right here, their neck that's bothering them. So I just tell them to put it wherever they'd like. So usually they want it on the neck, and it could be on the muscles that lead up to the neck, or on the neck itself. I'm sitting here right now, so the thing that's going to make the most sense is here. I try not to get too worked up about pad placement, because when it comes to frequency, like when True is saying 337, or you do the B frequency, the C, you could have it just even in the energy field of my body, and I would be receiving.
Put it on the desk.
So it does not have to be on a specific part of the body that you're treating with that frequencies. Frequency moves through water so quickly that my whole body is going to be receiving this frequency in a short period of time. So you don't need to worry so much about putting the pad on a specific place with frequency. Where I will get more it's like a space heater. If I wanted to heat up this room, where I put the space heater would be the most powerful place, right? That's true of the nitric oxide. If I want to get that nitric oxide and that ATP production in a specific area and their circulation in a specific area, then where I put the pad does matter for that, but it doesn't matter for just sending frequency into the body.
That has to do with the red, the blue, and the near infrared. That, remember this morning she talked about the photons of those colors of wavelengths of light. Where you put this, she's going to get those wavelengths of light more into that. It's going to go deeper into this muscle up here. The blue is going to help the skin more here. We love we'll talk more about the liver too tomorrow, but we love having the blue one up here under the right breast for the liver.
The liver.
And on the back for the liver, right along in here. So,
So what's
But this-
different about the pain buster? Why is that called a pain buster instead of
Good question.
it's just a name.
Well, the biggest difference is actually, if you look between these two pads, can you see that the pain buster is closer together? So the light diodes are more concentrated in their space here. So it's a little bit more if my hand was on this versus my hand was on this, my hand is getting a little bit more light to the hand. Concentration. But this one is actually called a blues buster because it's blue and near infrared, and then there's a pain buster that's red and near infrared. But I have to say that in terms of light, all of the pads will help with pain. All of the hat pads would help with things. And this doesn't necessarily, you don't get this pad and depression goes away. So it's not like, sorry. But, what a sales moment or not. But that said, the reason why it's called a buster is just because of that proximity.
And